news hit the internets that Caitlin Clark is apparently, and this is how the headlines have framed it, Jacques. Caitlin Clark is to blame for Steph Curry leaving Under Armour. That's how I've seen some of the headlines. I'm sure like the New York Post or these other outlets of reputable, whatever, have framed this story, is that they are kind of pinning Caitlin Clark as the reason why Steph Curry left Under Armour. So, according to Bloomberg, which is, again, very reputable, I'm not going to knock that one. Like, Bloomberg is a very reputable news outlet. They are reporting that, they did a story on Steph Curry's exit from Under Armour. Of course, there's like a paywall to actually read the article, so I'm not going to do that. Uh,
Mhm.
especially for something like this, because as soon as I saw this headline, I'm like, the BS meter is like, definitely spinning, especially like, shooting up to like, the top of the whatever. But according to their sources, one of the primary reasons for Steph Curry's departure was because of this disappointment that he has in Under Armour for being unable to secure the services of Caitlin Clark. I'm not sure if it's to sign Caitlin Clark to Under Armour or to get her to be under the Curry brand, but apparently that is one of like, that was potentially like the straw that broke the camel's back, or whatever that analogy is, that caused the breakup between Steph and Under Armour. And of course, this is being picked up by every outlet, and people are going at this very moment, ape bleep. And yeah, I just have to say, man, people are really jumping on the Steph Curry, anything related to Steph. And now that you got Caitlin Clark involved, ooh boy, like Stephen A is going to talk about this on ESPN like the first chance he gets. you know, everybody's going to jump on this story. And now, that I have set the table, Jacques Slade, your thoughts?
Well, I will say that this type of thing happens all the time.
Mm-hmm,
Athletes are courted by all of the brands.
mm-hmm,
And to peg Caitlin Clark as the reason that Steph Curry left Under Armour is wholly inaccurate. Like, first, like one, you're putting too much stock into Caitlin Clark. Like, no doubt she is a star. No doubt she's incredible. She's going to sell shoes. She's huge. She's, a massive star. But her alone can't maintain a brand. Second, you do a disservice to Steph Curry. You're insinuating that Steph Curry can't survive without Caitlin Clark at anywhere, which, again, is a disservice to Steph Curry. So, hearing things like, I don't doubt that Under Armour courted Caitlin Clark. That's, if they didn't, that gives Steph even more reason to leave.
mm-hmm,
But
mm-hmm.
for people to say she's the reason, can't be the reason. The math doesn't math. It's not adding up. There's no way possible. Maybe disappointed. Yes. Every brand is disappointed that they didn't get Caitlin Clark. Not just Under Armour, not Adidas, not just New Balance. Every brand put a deck in front of Caitlin's agent and was like, yo, we want her here. So there's really not much more I think I want to say to that, because otherwise I'm just going to be angry and really disappointed that people would go to this extreme and believe that Caitlin Clark has that much power, that Steph Curry is that weak,
Mm-hmm.
and that Nike isn't that huge that they could get Caitlin Clark services. So I'll leave it at that. I don't want to get too angry and get too upset, but be careful what you believe, people.
Yeah, and unfortunately, now that this is out there, it's going to get picked up by not necessarily just, like I said, the reputable news outlets. I mean, I see it on Bleacher Report, I see it on Sports Illustrated. I'm sure all of those particular ESPN, you're shaking your head because that's the reality is, man, like Steph Curry leaving Under Armour was huge news. You saw the business that it did for everybody. Like, let's be quite honest. Like, this is the most views we've ever gotten on one of our videos for, Too Hard to Pass was like the emergency episode we did on Steph Curry. Then now you're throwing Caitlin Clark into the mix? This is Steiner math on steroids for all of my wrestling fans out there who understand the reference. But this is like the perfect coming together. This would be
Yeah,
like,
I mean it's great for headlines. It's great for
yeah,
headlines, and it's
yeah.
great. I haven't, to be fair, I haven't read the article, so I don't know exactly what they say. The headline could have
But I
just
bet you
been
it's
like
not as
massive clickbait, and I bet you
mhm,
it's not. I bet you they're saying that, oh,
like a passing notion.
Under Armour courted Caitlin Clark. Of course they
Mhm,
did. That's
mhm,
welcome, welcome to today, and they didn't get her. Obviously, they didn't get her. Nike held on to that relationship. So I think I'm assuming it's a clickbait headline and people wanted to get some more information. But if it's to the point where Bleacher Report and Bloomberg of all people, and it's just disappointing reporting. And
mhm,
I knew, I think I mentioned this on the, may have mentioned this, had this in a personal conversation, that now you're going to start seeing all these stories come out of the Under Armour camp about
mhm,
why the relationship dissolved between Steph and Under Armour. And
mhm,
this is just an example of that. Someone that was privy to this leaked this information or shared this information with a reporter, not having the full context, just knowing their perspective on it and not really knowing, imagine not knowing how the business works and how large this business is. So it's disappointing that people are running with it, but let me go read the article and
yeah.
see if, maybe I'm in the wrong here. Maybe I just don't get it. But I think I get it.
No, I think you get it because the story on Bloomberg, the headline is "Inside the Breakup of Steph and Under Armour." It's not. They're not going for the Caitlin Clark easy headline right away. So,
Mm,
like you said, chances are it's probably just a passing mention in the article because SEO. It's totally possible that it's just part of that. Is like, oh, we got this. Somebody somewhere said like, we tried to get Caitlin, it didn't work out. Maybe Steph was well. To be fair, I think Steph would be kind of bummed out that they couldn't get Caitlyn, but it's not the thing that kind of ended the relationship. I mean,
yeah, that's
that
not what
shouldn't be the
ended the
thing.
relationship. The
Yeah, I
stock
mean,
price, the mismanagement, all of those
yeah,
things are the reasons to leave.
as a competitor, as somebody who wants this thing to grow, as you want Under Armour to grow, you want Curry Brand to grow. Of course, you're going to be bummed out that you didn't get the biggest name out there. But I feel like even if they did, I mean, yeah, because of all those other factors, yeah, that's actually what did the job. That's actually what, finally ended the relationship. This is just like one other thing, but it's not the
Yeah,
biggest thing. However, now that this is out there, the narrative now is going to be what you mentioned, that Caitlin Clark is. The funny thing is, you're right. Caitlin Clark might actually become even more valuable because of the story, because now people are going to once again use this as they're like, see, Caitlin moves the needle. She's the most powerful force in sports. Blah 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 blah. Yada yada yada. Which is hilarious because if you think about it, if these culture war jerk offs had like got their whatever correct, their screws on straight, the actual right move for them would be for Caitlin Clark to go to Under Armour, not the woke company Nike. It would be to go to Under Armour. That would
you're
be the
talking too
correct
much
way.
sense,
But
man. It's too much sense. You're
yeah,
making too much
it,
sense.
yeah, but now they're gonna frame it as like, see, Caitlin Clark's blah blah blah, the most powerful thing, but she's signed to the woke company, so make it make sense, guys. And then Steph is the one who left the quote unquote unwoke company Under Armour, and he's now branching out and doing his own thing. What if he signs with a China brand? Now what? Now what, guys? Like, so yeah, it's gonna be and to drop this on Thanksgiving week, where there's not gonna be a lot of big headlines. This thing is gonna at least last for like the rest of the week now, and somewhere Caitlin Clark is like, why is everybody talking about me again?
Yeah, why
What
why am
happened?
I trending?
Yeah, it's the 50 Cent, like, why you say F me for? Like, what are we doing
Right.
here?
Yeah.
It's the
Yeah.
off
Yeah.
season. What do we I thought I could at least get a break, from you jerk offs because it's the off season. But no.
Not at all.
No, apologies to Caitlin. Apologies to Steph. But I think the end of the day though is like I think we're gonna get this come out and people are just gonna have everything they have to say. And I think it's gonna end with everybody being like, oh, we just wasted a whole lot of nothing. It's like a whole lot of airtime, a whole lot of screen time for a
Yep.
nothing, as you said, a nothing burger. Like
Nothing burger in there.
like yeah.
I'm gonna just go for a walk. So, like,
Yeah, you should.
are we?
That's
Are we?
probably the smart.
I'm gonna go for a walk to clear my
Yeah.
mind.
Yeah. And with that, this is probably the saddest ending to a podcast we've ever done. But
Yeah,
we
yeah.
had to. Yeah. And with that, that
Anyway,
was episode 64 of the Too Hard Too
there
Fast
it is.
podcast. The Thanksgiving episode, the episode 64 in honor of the Nintendo 64, all those good things. And what if Travis Scott left Nike, went to Under Armour,
Yes.
Steph Curry went to a China brand, and Caitlin Clark went to Under? Oh my gosh! Like all of these three biggest, these are like the three biggest names of sneakers right now: Caitlin, Steph, and Travis, and all of them just happened to come up this past 2 weeks. Is it
Yeah.
all a conspiracy, Jacques? Is it all a conspiracy to get everything juiced, to get people talking and all that stuff? Is it all part of the conspiracy, man? Dun, dun,
It's
dun.
the
I'm so
It's the
sorry.
Illuminati. It's the
It's the
Illuminati.
Illuminati, man. It's the Illuminati, man.
Anyway,
They coming, man. It's like Kyrie
yeah.
said.